So what's up, you guys? We are back. Me and Marcel are just chatting up about some competitors that we have coming up here soon. He was talking about he has Andrea, correct?
Yep.
Doing an MCB show, and then the Dennis James right after. And I was
Yep.
telling him like he's done a really good job with her. I actually follow her because she's a supporter of this. And,
Yep.
I was like, I wanted to support her back, and I was like, damn, she's looking really good. She's making a big difference, especially when she posted that like side by side transformation.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah. And what I was saying before we started recording is like she's one of those who's like um always just a positive attitude where like usually at this point in prep people are like they're just down for the count. They're like kind of
negative,
negative.
salty.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah, negative and just low energy. And like every training session, she shows up, big smile on her face. Every check-in is like super positive. She's super excited. She's nervous, but she's super excited. So it's always cool to see that because like 95% of our job is like dealing with people like just walking them off the edge of a cliff for the remainder of the prep instead of somebody's checking in is like, hey, I love it, 2 hours of cardio, yay. I'm like, you are crazy, dude.
No, dude, that's just something about either the way you've obviously kind of guided her this whole time, anyways, and then it says a lot about her obviously mentality. To like, I'm gonna enjoy this. I know
Yeah.
I'm doing this like for to myself, so there's no complaining. It is what
Oh
it is.
yeah.
Next thing I thought she posted like a story a while back where she's like eating her meal, and
Mhm.
like her husband, I believe, was like eating like
Yeah.
pizza or something right across
Yeah,
from
I
her.
coach his husband. I
Yeah,
coach her husband
yeah.
too. Yeah.
So he's like a hard gainer. I'm assuming you're
Yeah.
giving him
Oh
cheat meals
yeah.
and
Oh,
stuff.
very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. So, but it shows that she's that like
Mhm.
focused on herself that she doesn't get like bothered by that. Me, when I first started, I
Yeah.
culd not do that. I'm being honest. I would
And the
I would
crazy
get
part
upset with
is,
the person. You know
yeah,
what I
like
mean?
she runs a senior care home. Like it's her business.
Oh, so
I'm
she's up
like,
and down. She's
she's up
moving.
and down. She's moving. She's baking stuff for the residents. She's cooking meals for the residents. So she's always around it all. And like, you know how it is. Like, dude, I can barely take care of myself during prep, let alone taking care of other people. You know what I mean?
Because she's
So yeah,
elderly, bro. Elderly is no joke. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
dude, I'm
Takes a
telling
lot of work.
you. Yeah. So like, yeah, hats off to that. That's anytime you find somebody like that, is just like a breath of fresh air. Like it makes my
Hell
job enjoyable. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like, I don't know if you ever get that when you're like, you got a few people in prep and then you're there checking in quite a bit. And then every morning, like they check in with a book of like complaints as well, which is like, it's totally understandable, but you're just like, all right, walk him off a cliff. All right,
It's
walk her
tiring. It
off a
gets
cliff.
tiring at some point.
All right, trust the process. You're fine. You're not fat. Like you're good. Like, you know what I mean? So as a breath of fresh air, like when I see her checking, I know it's going to be positive. I'm like always just open it right away. Boom, boom, boom. All right, you good, just keep it rocking. So I'm excited for her because this was like a lifelong dream of hers to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So she came to me like a year ago and she was like, oh, it's always been a dream of mine to like step on stage and do a show. And a year later, she's doing it. So, and she killed it. She, for her first prep, hats off. You did very well. Very well. Yep. I'm sure she's
And
gonna
that's awesome, bro.
I'm sure she's gonna be doing cardio like Saturday and she's
Watching this.
watching this and she's gonna be just fucking hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking,
No, dude. I mean, like I said, that truly says a lot about her, and like to enjoy the process, it only makes it that much more like of an like I don't know, explain it like it because at the end of this, usually when we're done, we look back, we're like, oh, I could have done this better, I could have
yeah.
done this. And for her to be this way already, she's not gonna have like those regrets that like I personally have looking back, like, oh man, I took it out on some of the wrong people. I was salty all the time. I was like, but we do it to ourselves, and when we really look at it, we're not nowhere near starving. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When the people around the world, people in our cities that eat once a week, you know what I mean? It's sort of like crazy stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, we're eating very low carbs and it's not enjoyable, but you're
It's
gonna
a
be fine.
privilege. It's easy to forget that it's a privilege when you're in the
The trenches and the
trenches of it, So yeah, but I'm excited too. I talked to Chris this week and I asked him what I think what he thinks we should do. Um and he said, yeah, definitely go for nationals this year. So I guess that's a green light for me. So I got what, like 7, 8 weeks and I gotta start prep. So I'm ready for it. We'll see how it
how you,
goes.
how you feeling overall?
I
Feel like
feel
you made the
good.
improvements you needed?
Yeah, no, I feel good. I feel stronger. The baby kind of took me back a little, not back, I wouldn't say back, right? Like it stalled me for a little bit for
Yes.
sure. It took
Pause.
my body like what is he? He's 6 weeks now. Yeah, he's gonna be 7 weeks on Tuesday. So for like those 6 weeks, like I just now feel to 100 where my body feels good and where I'm recovering, and I kind of got used to the different schedule, different sleep. Um, so I'm feeling good again, and like the weight slowly came back on, and I feel strong again. So all that's is coming back around. I feel full. I feel round. So um, yeah, I think with if we do a 20-week prep like we did last time, like I'm pretty good about making improvement in prep too. You know what I mean? Because once I lock in, I'm locked in. So I'm excited to see what happens. The only scary part is I remember like what we had to do to get that peeled last time, and now I'm like, no, I gotta beat it. So I'm like, fuck. All right, I gotta step that game up again, you know? So it's always like a little antsiness of like, all right, I know what's coming.
Honestly, from like what I've seen of you though, you're pretty good at consistently bringing in the conditioning. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whatever you've done in the past, I think as long as you just do what you've done, you'll get there again. Obviously, you needed a few little improvements here and there,
Yeah.
but I think for you to be a big threat at the national level, and
Yeah.
we'll see. Because by looking at you and you posted even that quick little like leg and like you pose like that real
Yeah.
quick on the sorry, you look thicker than what I've
Yeah.
ever seen in your off seasons.
Oh, for
You know what I mean?
sure. For sure.
So
Yeah.
like there's definitely new muscle underneath, and we'll see as you come down how much of a difference it is.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of your physique, bro. That's why I've said you smoke
For sure.
all of us here, and I'm excited to see you. And I was gonna ask you, do you have your family going with you and stuff, or
I think so. I think we're gonna
yeah,
bring everybody out. Who knows? Who knows?
yeah, I know. Because the
Who knows
baby, I
that?
know it might be a little tricky. So
I,
I'll just say, man, if something happens, you don't have anything, give me a heads up. I'll come out with you, dude.
oh, that'd be
I'll
cool.
come out
Yeah.
and support.
Like
Just so
I'm
you ain't
gonna.
by yourself.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to bring them because it'd be cool. Because like my last show, what I thought was super cool. There was pictures of me with Michelle and Liam was still in her belly. So now I want to take the same picture, but him out of her belly, basically like a year later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So that'd
yeah,
be pretty
that'd be
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Um, but with that being said, I do get pretty weird when it comes to that like last week showtime. I'm very like how do I say it? I'm very closed off. I'm very
You're focused. You're trying to
yeah,
get what needs to be
yeah, I
done.
hit a different level and I almost feel bad sometimes for Michelle when she comes with me. Definitely with Taylor. I mean, it's the most boring thing ever her for her like she would love to come, but it's the most boring thing for her to literally watch me pose, eat, and not move from a hotel room for a week straight, basically. Um, so we'll see. I would love for all of them to come, but maybe what I'm thinking about doing, I'll go out early and then have them come in the night before or something like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
Um, but we'll see. We'll see how all that goes. But it's in Dallas. So Chris is in Dallas as well. So that'd be nice, for him
yeah.
to
Oh,
see
there you
in
go. Yeah,
person. Um, but we'll see. I'm kind of nervous, kind of excited because
I'm sure, bro. I'm sure.
if I get my ass smoked, I'm gonna be debating whether I'm gonna keep going or not. So
I don't think that's it. Like, it should be up for debate. Like up for debate though. Like, as because you have such a good physique that it just has to be certain improvements. And if you ask anyone that sees that, that's all you need to do. So if you go into the show and say they're just not as good, or they're not there, or you
yeah.
get close, I don't think it's
No, no, I'm
necessarily.
saying like if I hit all my marks to where like I'm like, okay, that's the best I could bring right now, and I get smoked, where like I get like third call
And you
outs.
like maybe max out your weight, and you're like,
Yeah, and I'm
yeah,
like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to really see what I want to do, because I know like it just doesn't take a lot out of me. It takes a lot of their time.
yeah, yeah.
That's the part that kind of bugs me the most. Because I mean, I'm like whatever, dude. Like it is what it is. I like doing this. It's my choice. I've loved doing this. It's been 11 years of me doing it, so like
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
yeah.
Them it
I know,
just harder every time.
yeah. I know we've talked about that you want to obviously aim for bodybuilding, and that's like the class you
Mhm.
want to go for.
Yeah.
Is that where you like want to go pro in as well, like and then aim compete in pro, or what is yeah? What is your
Eventually, I
thought?
would love to because I think for me to reach my maximum potential of like my physique, I think I'm gonna have to be in bodybuilding.
Okay.
Um, I do like competing in bodybuilding a bit more. I
Yeah.
think my physique does well in classic though.
Mhm.
Um, at least that's what Chris has said, and I mean, I I have the small waist.
In the shape, absolutely.
and I could pose pretty well too. So, and I have the shape. So I like classic is a good class for me. Is just lately it's been so, I don't know. Not, I wouldn't say, okay, popular maybe is a better word, but like, I don't know, just everybody's doing it.
Mm.
And it's like, I don't know, kind of takes away the aura for me, the aura of it away from me. Like I like doing the like
You
more
think bodybuilding has more of a like a more of
edge
a
to it. Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the more, it's
More
a more,
stripes to your name for like
yeah,
getting a pro card that
yeah,
way. Yeah,
exactly.
and I agree with you 100%. But the only reason I asked you was like, I think for example, right now you are close to being able to get a pro card in classic. Because I know you're close to maxing out, and I
Yeah,
think with the condition you bring and the shape you already have, you could do it already. You know, and but I think in bodybuilding, like, you could go pro, but I think that
yeah,
also for you to be competitive in the pro stage, it's going to take probably a couple years. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so
Yeah, a
yeah,
couple years, it'd be a couple years of like 3, 4 years of just full on growth the whole time,
yeah.
you know? Um, because there,
Honestly, that's what I think I'm gonna be doing and focusing on. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you don't think you're stepping on stage anytime soon?
Yeah, I think I've been talking to Dom, and I think it's about just recreating just one more really good like opportunity. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I need to get to like 275, 280, and walk around like pretty damn lean at that weight. Where
Yeah.
like it's a struggle for me to make my weight at 232. You know,
Yeah.
I
What's
think
your
if I
weight
do
cap is
that, I
232?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I think if I do that, I can potentially be a threat to get my pro card at USA's because that's the
that's a
pro
big
show I
person.
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
So
big dude.
yeah. So luckily I'm tall, but it also takes time to fill out. You know,
Mm.
this past this us or that past season, I was weighing the mid 220s, but I was still probably good like 8 to 10 pounds being truly shredded. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I think for me to put on that 20, 25 pounds of tissue,
Couple years, yeah.
it'll take 3, 4, 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
we'll see, man.
that's the crazy part where people, a lot of the people don't understand. Like, I see this all the time, and it's one of my pet peeves in our industry. Is like somebody comes out from a show and it's like, "Oh, I'm up 40 pounds in 6 months, dude." Okay, you gain maybe like 3 pounds of muscle off of that. You
I
know
did
what I
that.
mean?
I'm not gonna lie.
Right, but you know
But
better.
I was
You know
fooled
that.
by it. I was fooled by it. When I first started, I really did think that was muscle coming on. So I
Yeah,
think some people are fooled but not knowing any
yeah,
better. That was my reason. But yeah, no, it's not. It's not muscle.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now well, you know, like, okay, yeah, I'll gain those 30 pounds, but like at the end of the year, it'll be like 5 of that is muscle. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Um, so it's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm up 45 pounds, gonna be, 30 pounds heavier on stage." Yeah, I don't know about that. Like that's just not how it works. Like the most freaks of freaks will put on 10 pounds of muscle in a full 12-month period. You know what I mean? Um, so that it's just you putting on
Like the
muscle.
longer you do this too, the less likely you are to have that type of year where you're putting on 10 pounds of tissue. You know, me and you that were pretty seasoned at
Yeah.
this, it'll take something incredibly dramatic for us to put on 10 pounds in a year. You know what I mean? Oh,
I wouldn't
excuse
be
me.
surprised if I was like 2, 3 pounds heavier on stage, just more conditioned as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
But for
improvements.
you, that's almost what all you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. Uh,
It's
so
just in the right places, and if you could pull a bit of condition more. I think I had a little bit more I could pull down. I think we were close. We were very close to being like impressive conditioning. We were close, but we'll see.
yeah, dude, honestly, I thought you were there. I felt if anything, you may could have been a little fuller, in my opinion. That
Yeah,
would have then made you look more conditioned. Like it would have had the skin and the muscle, push up against it a little.
yeah,
In my opinion, because like yeah, dude, that was spot on. That your last show was very impressive.
yeah.
The
It's
conditioning
funny. It's
and
funny because like it's so crazy how when you're in it, you don't see it whatsoever. Like
yeah,
I thought I was out of shape still when I was going into that show. But now when I look back at it, I was like, okay, that was for sure my best look I had. Um, but you just don't see it at the time. At least I don't. I never do. It takes me like a good like 5, 6 weeks after a show for me to like truly be able to like
yeah.
digest what happened or how I looked with like a level
Or
head.
actually see it the right way. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
with
those
a
prep
level.
goggles. Like everyone
Yeah, yeah,
says.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I was like
and it's,
going into the show, I was like, morning of I felt good. Morning off, I was like, okay. I woke up and I was just like super dry. I thought we were a little flat, which is perfect. Like that's exactly what you want when you wake up the morning of the show, dry, a little bit flat because you'll get those 2, 3 meals in you before you step on stage. Perfect. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, no, it wasn't until the morning of the show where I was still like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And I
Christmas.
think we all have our normal little doubts and that stuff. And but dude, I remember seeing you in person at the Whitney Jones, like I
Mhm.
think 2 years prior to that when you won like the double
Yeah,
overall,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
And dude, like that's you have that's like a physique that's like funny enough, we're talking about Keon. You're not bubbly like him, but you have this physique
yeah,
where as soon as you pose, it like you just like
yeah.
you open up. That's why when you're like walking around normal, you don't look
Nobody
like
knows. Yeah,
yeah, no, you don't look like it. Like especially you always wear big shirts, but
yeah.
even more like you don't. Yeah, it's within your body. You pose, especially you do your front relax. You see your waist how small it is, the
Yeah.
ratios.
It's
Uh,
crazy because I remember it's funny that you say that because the day after Whitney Jones, I went to the gym, right? And there's this guy that I competed against at the Whitney Jones. He's an older dude, he was a bigger guy. He was with me in the overall at Whitney Jones. And he was talking to one of the other guys. He's a men's physique guy. You probably know him as well, but we'll keep the name off for the name of the and I had my headphones in, but sometimes I have my headphones in, but I don't play any music. It's just kind of drown out some of the noise. And they're
mhm.
talking about the show, and the guy's like, "Hey, what's up? How'd you do? Blah blah blah." And he's like, "Well, I won my class, but I got smoked in the overall." And he's like, "Yeah, and I got smoked by this guy, man. He's crazy." And then the kid is like, looks over at him. He smoked you? What are you talking about? And like, I had my headphones and I heard it all, and I was like, "Oh, that stung a bit, but okay, I'll take it."
Yeah,
Because
yeah. It's just you're not a bubbly guy, like you know what I
nah,
mean.
no,
And then but you have good shape when you pose. You have really good legs. Even when I
yeah,
work out with you, you can tell your legs are good. You fucking the way your shorts hug against them and shit. Like but your upper body, I think, just isn't like as I guess impressive until you pose it. I don't know
yeah,
why, but like say you it kind of just hides. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm
Um,
a, I'm a I'm a sleeper build. That's what I call it.
yeah,
When I
sleeper
wear
build.
clothes,
Yeah.
when I wear clothes, people are like,
Exactly.
"Hey, he works out," but they're like, "Hey, he's not that. He's nothing special. He just works out." You know what I mean? And yeah, I think once I pose and I lean down, it's like I have a way
I
different.
think I mean, a lot of enterprises do because I mean, your arms are your weak point, the only weak
Yeah,
point you have in your body. And I think just because you don't have that as much thickness in here,
yeah,
that's what a lot of people kind of see initially. You know what I mean? When
yeah,
you're wearing your t-shirt, your tank
yeah,
top. So again, but when you pose, it's a whole different story. You got lats, you got
yeah.
chest, you got shoulders.
I hammered these fucking arms these past like 5 months, dude. Like they feel bigger. When I get a
Yeah,
pump, they feel bigger and they
they
look
look bigger in that shot.
they
Like so,
look
you did
bigger.
that
Yeah,
that thickness on. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
okay,
So I'm like,
there's
we'll
improvements.
see how it
So
sticks when I lean down. Well, I guess we'll know in a few months.
yeah,
We'll know.
I think you'll be good. You follow Chris. He has the track record to
Yeah, he's
nail it. He's
great.
already nailed it with you, so he knows your body.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah,
Yeah, the only thing I have a worry about is literally just like how am I gonna do with a newborn and being in prep? Like that could be tough. Um, so yeah, that's my only pretty much reservation of how it will work out.
yeah, it's a
But
new obstacle for sure.
yeah, but I mean, it's not a prep if it's like not a little bit difficult in some way, shape, or form.
Hey, and I mean, and you're seeing all these guys now in the top rankings that have babies now too, and they're about to go through
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We'll see Derek, Sebum,
yeah.
you
All
guys that have
right. I
babies.
love CBum, but CBum's got enough fucking babysitting money to have the baby
Do you
babysat when
think
he's
you think
doing
he pays for
cardio.
babysitter?
If he goes to gym and does cardio, probably, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For us, it's like okay, well, only one of us can go train, you know what I mean? And we have to like just flip-flop the baby between us. So, because daycare is expensive, dude. Like it's
Oh yeah,
fucking childcare is expensive. It's like 2 grand a month for
yeah.
childcare when my wife goes back to work. So it's like, Sebum, he earned everything he has. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
different when you have the financial freedom of having somebody that's able to watch your child while, even when you go to the gym to have a fucking babysitter to come with you so your child's with you at the gym, but while you're working and stuff,
Well, I mean, his scenario kind of, I think, like yours. I don't think he's gonna go to the gym where he needs any babysitter. I think he'll take the baby with him. If
with them.
anything,
Yeah, yeah.
he has
Oh
his
yeah,
own,
he's got the
he has his
facility.
gym. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has his own gym. If anything, Courtney will probably go with him, and they'll probably make it like some kind of like
yeah,
hanging out time. But that's one thing I'll say is like you can tell obviously she's taking a big like step up in that mother role where she's like doing a lot of it because he's traveling, he's out doing his stuff still. He went to Mexico, got his fucking knees fixed up or some shit.
yeah.
Like you know what I mean? So it's like you can tell she's stepping up a lot to allow him to be doing that. You know what I mean? So
It's a different ball game for a mom for sure. Way
yeah,
different ball game. Way different ball game. I mean, the shit that goes into taking care of a newborn when you're a mom is like it's mind blowing, dude. Um,
I believe
it's
it.
it's one of those things where like shit, like on the weekend I'll help her and stuff throughout the night, and I'm a zombie, dude. And I'm just like, holy fuck. And she does this day in, day out, every
Well,
fucking day.
mothers and women specifically are built different when it comes to
Oh, for
dealing with all
sure.
that, man. Like it's something else.
Dude, Mike, that
Muffin Man, Mikey
he's
Mike.
here with the fucking Squirtle t-shirt.
This is
Oh, it's not Squirtle? I thought it was Squirtle from
Snorlax,
I
Snorlax.
I do have Squaddle though. I do.
Wow.
And,
That was a,
and,
that was,
and
that was
so I
a
got
rookie.
quite a few.
How you doing, Mike?
All right, how are you guys doing?
Good,
Surviving.
man. We're chit chatting about some competitors that we have coming up, and then we started talking about Marcel's current plans to do nationals. He's like, I'm pretty much we're aiming for that. He said, that's the goal. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, quad shot this week looked crazy. I commented, I was like, geez Louise, man, his legs look crazy.
Yeah.
You're shredded, you can tell it's a strong point too, but when you're like amidst an off season, like, damn.
It was funny because somebody, one of my other clients, Jordan, he like responded to it. He's like, bro, you're a fucking log. And I was just like, I sat back and I'm like, I've never been called a log before. I don't know how to take this.
Yeah, that's
Like, what the fuck?
a funny word choice.
Like I've been called many things, but I've never been called a log. Like, what is that? What does that mean? I'm like, to me in my head, right? My bodybuilding brain turns on. I'm like, a log has no shape. Go fuck yourself. Like,
Just a cylinder, just one tube.
yeah, exactly. So yeah. He's like, I was talking about your leg. It's a fucking log.
Yeah, synonymous with an oak or something like that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. No, cool, man.
And
Looking
I got offended. I was like, fuck, I posted that because I thought my arms looked bigger. And everybody's talking about
Hey, I noticed that. I said that right now.
you did mention it. So I was like, God
No,
damn it.
but I also know that Marcel's weakest or his only weak point is his arms. So if those come up, I told him he's a big threat to like
Yeah.
make some noise at nationals for sure. That's all I need to bring up.
Well, we're about
He's
to
been
find
conditioned.
out in 6 months. So
Hell yeah, dude. I'm stoked for you.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of nervous, but we'll see. We'll see in 6 months. So Mike,
And
you're
Mike, I was telling him that I'll maybe go out there with him if he ends up going out there by himself. If he can't make it like a family thing. So in Dallas,
In Dallas?
yeah, we should fly out there. Go check it
Yeah.
out.
It's in November?
December.
December?
Yeah, I believe it's the first weekend of December per
Okay.
year. So it's perfect timing right before the holidays.
I got a bunch of PTO, a bunch of stuff. That's what I'm like. I could use it. I could do it.
I need more excuses to take more PTO because I have an unlimited PTO policy that I feel like I'm one of the few people who doesn't take advantage of it. Like we have a list of like we have an HR software and you can see how much PTO people take. And dude, there's people who have taken 3-week long trips in the last like year who have 30 days plus racked. I'm like it. Meanwhile, I'm like, I think I took 12 last year or something like that. Like, so I'm taking more days this year, trying to take more days this year, just periodically, even if I don't have anything planned, because I'm like, dude,
Take
that's
it,
a
man.
huge perk, man. Like, just
Take it.
not take advantage of it. So,
Take it. I'm like, how much can you work? You know what I mean? Like, uh, it's it's one of those things. It's like a blessing and a curse when you're hardworking. I feel like where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show up to work and I'm gonna do my job, and it's like you always worry about like, oh, what are they gonna do when I'm not there, and this and that.
well, that's the thing, man. I feel guilty. Like,
Yes, exactly.
it's a smaller company. I came up with it where I was literally like running the entire department like solo for a while, and we got to the point now where I have a pretty okay sized team beneath me that I work super closely with. And I just feel like I leave people out to dry, even though it's totally not the case. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm not, I feel guilt, and I shouldn't. But
It's a blessing and a curse, man, because that's probably what's getting you to where you're at now. That's
For
probably
sure.
what got you there. It's probably what makes your physique improvements. That's what makes you a good bodybuilder is that mentality. But then sometimes you gotta take a step back and be like, fuck this, everybody else is taking PTO. Why am I not taking PTO? You know what I mean?
Doing better. I'm doing better with it for sure. I'm checking myself with that because yeah.
Yeah. Taking a day here and there won't kill you. That's for sure.
No, we all need it for sure. But for me, what happens, I my company has a limit of PTO that once you get to it, you can't accrue it anymore, and that's kind of what's happened to me. So I'm like, I need to find reasons to use some.
There
Um,
you go.
so because I don't know, over the last year and a half, because of what I was doing, focusing on bodybuilding, doing my prep. Kind of, time just flies by. I don't take any days off because it just didn't really make any sense. Like, and then I got to the point where they're like sending me an email like, "Hey, you're about to hit cap on your PTO. You might want to use some."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good excuse too. That'll be cool. It's a cool trip. I've only been to Dallas itself once. And I wish I saw more of it, but the Dallas Fort Worth area is super, super cool. So
Mhm.
trip, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. We went out to the Texas Pro there like 2 years ago. That was fun. So it's cool because it's actually the Nationals are going to be at the same venue that they did the Texas Pro at. So
Oh, nice. So
yeah,
is it Irving or is it Dallas?
yeah. So it's fuck. I think it's Irving.
I'm
I
sure.
think it's
Okay, yeah. So because I went there back in 2020, the COVID year. I had clients that did the amateur side of it, the Battle Up production.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Irving Convention Center. There you go. It is called
yeah.
Irving Convention
So yeah, no. And if Mike goes, I was like, we can meet him. We can actually go fucking eat places, go fucking like check things out, go work out at gyms. You can join us too, obviously. But I don't think it'll obviously be
Center.
around the food part.
After the show, we'll go to like Destination Dallas or something.
I'll be like Marcel's caddy and just like carry around his food and make sure he's like going into the show with like no stress whatsoever. I'll be like, you need food, man. It's almost that time. You got 15 minutes for the next meal, right? Okay, what's your coach say it is? Okay, cool, got you, bro.
You know, it's funny
Yeah,
because
no, dude, that's literally why I mentioned this. So to actually support
yeah,
him. Like, yeah, I want to go fuck around during peak week, you know, when he's just like chilling. But when
yeah,
he's actually in the zone and needs help, that's why I was like, I know what it feels like, you know, to
yeah.
have a
It's
little
funny
extra
'cause
support. You know?
if I go to my client's show, like that's how I am. Literally, you chill. I got you. I like
Take
measure
care.
the meals. I'm like, where's your chicken? Where's your rice? Let me make it for you.
You're like, I'm OCD. I won't mess up your grams or whatever. You know, you're like, okay, 204 grams, got you.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, we were talking about that actually, like how I get weirdly because he was like, "Is the family gonna come out?" And I'm like, I would love for them to, but I'm like, I get weird that week of the show. Like, I get weird. I'm just a fucking
That's pretty
weirdo. I'm
early to fly,
quiet and I'm
right?
just like,
That's 6 months by that point. That's pretty early to fly.
yeah, could be.
So
Who knows? Maybe I'll have my license by then and I'll fly myself.
yeah, that's been the case, by the way. How long have you been doing that?
Not that long, just started. Just started working on ground school right now. So, but it's fun. It's funny because it was one of those things where like I wanted to do like I wanted to be a pilot when I was young, right? But it just the way the life worked out didn't happen.
Okay.
And then my client and a good friend of mine, um, he's a pilot. And he was like, "Hey, let me take you one day. Like, I got flight hours. Let me take you." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's do it." And I did it, and I was like, "Fuck that." He did it. I'm gonna do it too. So
Yeah.
we just went with it, and yeah, no, I'm super thankful for because he's helping me out so much. Like, to it helps to have somebody that has gone through it all and just like taking you by the hand, and it's like, do this, do this, do
Yeah.
this, and do this. So yeah.
Is that something that you just start doing purely because you always wanted to, or is that something that, you know, you're like, this is a small step in the direction for potentially like a future job career path or something? Like,
Now I'm thinking about making it a future career path. Like
interesting.
once I'm done, I think that'd be pretty cool to just be either like a charter pilot. It just seems
Yeah.
like a big step back from what I'm doing now and be like, okay, brush of fresh air. Because right now it's just always go, 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 non fucking stop, 24 fucking 7, 7 days a week. And just like maybe that would be a nice brush of fresh air when I'm done with all this.
Maybe when the kids are a little bit older too, and then the family, you can literally see all parts of the world that like
Travel,
are
yeah,
not possible.
yeah. Yeah, so
Very
that's definitely something that yeah, step by step. I mean it's a step process because first you got to get your private, then you got to get your instrument rating, then you got to get your commercial, then you got to get your pilot instructor, and then you can go as an airline or like a cargo pilot. So it's a process,
yeah.
but it's challenging. What I like, it's fucking challenging. I like things that are hard. Like how many people do you know that could be like, oh, I can fly a plane? You know what I mean? So I like things that are hard, but we'll see. Like I'm super blessed that Raphael was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's, he just kind of showed me like, oh, I did it.
Mm.
And he didn't do it when he was super young.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, why can't I do it? And he just kind of like, well, absolutely you can do this, do this. And it just went from there. And I'm like, okay. So I'm just going with it,
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. It's cool that I like when you post that the stuff.
Different. It's
interesting.
fucking different. Yeah, it's different for
Sure.
sure. So this weekend, Toronto Pro, right? Here's
Yeah.
what
Any of the posts of people, there's some crazy ones.
yeah.
I
Here.
think you spoke at I think what you said last week, yeah.
Hey, yeah, buddy.
Nuts.
Crazy, dude.
Nuts.
Just fucking shit brick house, dude. Just
I
peeled.
I think he will beat Akeem. I need to see Akeem pictures actually, because apparently he posted some updates too.
Have
But
you guys seen Tim Budishim?
I mean, he's always shredded.
He's always shredded, but he kind of
Yeah, it just doesn't translate on stage for some
yeah.
reason. Like,
He's one of those where he's like a bag of meat thrown at a wall, and just
Yeah, peeled.
oh, that's yeah. We're not even gonna look at Hassan because he always disappoints. That was mean, but true.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, so I can't really find the list, but the first thing that I saw was John Jewett, and I was like, that dude looks wild. He's just so striated and round everywhere already. Like it's crazy. I would love to see a side by side when he's done of him like at 212 at his best versus open at his best.
I'm sure he'll post one. I'm sure he's even posted one already in the past of that. He just looks like, I don't know how he sucked down to that weight. Like he probably was just purposefully like like at maintenance or a deficit just for years of his life.
Oh, dude, he had to. He couldn't have a off season. Like he watched his food so closely in the
Yeah.
off season because he would just blow up. But here's Akeem.
Akeem pretty damn peeled.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the angle, but if you take a look at his legs look downsized, don't they?
Just looks flat, dude.
Maybe.
I mean, you can see he just looks flat. I
And
don't think he's downsized at all.
I think he is flat, but definitely like his legs don't ever really look like that. So I see why Marcel's like a little like caught off guard by that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a flatness because even like his chest and his shoulders, like they don't normally look like that. And then, just
That
really
hands
quick
on hips looks 100 times better than that most muscular that he
Yeah.
does on the right. The hands on hips
I
looks
agree.
legit. But that's a good thing because Akeem has a thing where it's like he's always such a hit or miss. Like if he's on, he is wacky as fuck. But then he misses.
And this year, it's been more like he just isn't on mark for prejudging. He's been on point for some finals, but like at the Arnold Ohio, I believe, in the Arnold UK, both finals, he really covered some ground to how improved he was.
Yeah, for sure. Quentin's doing it again. Are you guys betting on him?
let's do a top five.
Though his picks, I mean, he filled out. You can see some pretty clear closing of the gap in like his legs, and
Yeah.
it's
Have you guys seen this dude?
I don't think so.
He always looks crazy on those locker room pictures.
He's fucking wacky too.
Kind of the same thing though. He's never translated on stage, but I know for him, he's had to make like pretty dramatic weight cuts. So I mean that's why he's never like translated on stage. He probably can never peak.
Bro, just take a look at this fucking biceps and triceps compared to his fucking delt.
Look at his chest, man. Fucking lying.
Yeah, I know. That's insane. That's insane. He's got those like crazy big teardrops on his quads. Like
Crazy.
it looks like
They're split hard.
It just looks like a fucking horse leg. Anyway, all right, let's pull up the do you know who had the competitor list by any chance?
I don't know.
I think bodybuilders without borders had it. for Vancouver or Toronto. Whatever it is.
So this
Just keep
is
going a little lower.
212.
There
Oh,
you
this
go.
is 212 though.
Oh,
I think keep going a little lower. He had like the list of the actual like lineup of. Should be one of those. There you go. Yep.
there you go.
All right, so Dan Afan. Do you guys know who Dan Afan is?
No,
I mean,
definitely do not.
I don't know who a lot of these guys are actually. I would have to look
well,
up
the
a lot
names
of
that,
them.
yeah, the names that jump out at me. Well, I mean, Tim Budishim, obviously, we just talked about him. John Jewett,
Brent.
Hassan. He's lost all my hopes ever because I've
Na-
lost.
Nathan Spear, Robin Strand. Those are pretty good guys too.
Yeah, so I was thinking Nathan Spear, Brent Swanson, I know, and Akeem, obviously.
Who's your top four?
Well, that's easy.
It's not the order is. I feel like the top four is going to be consistent on our between us, but I feel like the order is going to be different.
Yeah, I would have to see. I don't know who this Dan Afan is.
Do we do a top five and have a little fun wager?
Yeah,
Maybe we should do. Maybe we should do a. Well, we could do something. Loser has to pay for when we go out and eat.
done. I could do that. That's fine with me. All right, so I would do in my top five definitely Akeem,
Yeah,
Nathan Spear, John Jewett.
Hold on. Am I writing this down, or do you got this, Mike?
he's just organizing the people in his top five. He's not doing an order yet.
I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll put it in my notes actually.
All right,
Okay.
so Akeem, Nathan, John Jewett, Tim Budishim, and Quentin. Is going to be top five.
Wow, do you have a grudge against Hassan?
I do.
Wow.
A big one. Dude, he's
Yeah.
lost me 3 bets. That dude has lost me 3 bets because he never shows up fucking perfectly perfect. He always dude, that
Our
dude
top
has
five are different then because there's other names that I have that I think are gonna be in top five. I think it where'd the list go?
I'm gonna pull up some of these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Dan Afan. Oh, okay. Well, that's not Dan Afan.
Dan's gonna win it, dude.
You think? Yeah, clearly. Dan
Wow, he's gonna-
Afan. Okay, Dan Afan is not existent on social media. That's a bad sign. Prince Boabang.
So I think Akeem, John, Hassan, I think are gonna be the top three. I look at the list again.
Oh, this is Prince Boabang. Oh, I know this dude. Let's see if he has a full body shot somewhere. You guys know?
I've seen this guy before.
Yeah.
He's usually not like too conditioned, and his legs are a little weaker too.
Okay, so this is Prince Boabang. I like your name, Prince Boabang. You have a cool name, Vladimir Bayruk. Dude, he's Ukrainian. He might be shredded. He might be Caucasian dry.
There's a bunch of Caucasian dry in this show. Like a bunch.
How do you spell it? B-Y.
Him, Brent, Nathan, Robin, all those guys get peeled.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit! Who's this guy? Damn.
This is Bayruk. Baruch. Okay.
Hey, that's a nasty side shot, dude. Wow.
All right. Okay. I definitely overlooked you, buddy.
Yeah. What did he place in New York? Did he do the last New York? Is that what that was?
Looks like
Most recent.
he took 12th place. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, New York was pretty stacked, but yeah.
Okay. Well, learned something new today. Who else we got? Gianluca De Lorenzo. Do you guys know him?
I know his name. I don't remember what he looks like.
Oh, wow. Can you
I
have
don't think he's on there.
Gina Luca?
No.
Gian, not Gina.
Like this?
Gian N. Yeah.
Gianluca Di Lorenzo, IFBB Pro. I think that's him.
Oh shit, good job. Huh. You found the. Oh, that guy looks good too. Holy shit!
All right.
Damn.
The fuck, guys?
Good
Can you
shit.
give me a full body shot, bro? Come on.
Damn.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
Got some wild horses in here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is good.
What's
All right.
odd? These guys that probably can't ever obviously come to the U.S. So that's why they're probably not familiar to any of us. Really.
So, yeah, yeah.
Arthur Duncan. The fuck is with these names? Am I doing this right? John
Arthur. Yeah, I think that one. I think you spelled that one right.
John Arthur Duncan, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does have social media. Man. Oh
Maybe that's
no, it's not. No, it's not.
this guy.
That's the
No,
same.
it's not.
Yeah.
That's
Jonathan Duncan, who's prepping for the NPC North Americans. So that was 151 weeks ago. So he probably turned.
No, I know that. Is that really him? His name? I thought his name was different. I thought this is the guy who competed against Sid a couple years ago.
Could have
What
been
is it?
because this is
Yeah.
3 years ago. 151 weeks was 3 years basically.
I still remember how a different name, but fuck, maybe.
You know
All right,
Quentin.
who's in your top 5? Oh, Jang, Yang Min. The Asian dude's really good too.
Ethan Grossman. Oh, I know this guy.
Um,
He's just not big enough. He's nowhere near big enough. So sorry, buddy. We're skipping you. Jang Min Lee.
yeah,
He's
look up.
Jang Min Lee. Oh shit, wrong post here. Jang Min Lee.
It was with A, J
Okay.
A.
Top,
No,
right, top. Oh, is that not it? No. Okay.
Jang Min Lee.
It's not the top. There's a bunch of people that you follow it.
Let's see.
there
Oh,
you go. I think that is a.
oh, I know this guy too.
Damn, that guy is
He looks
fucking
good.
huge.
Yeah, he looks good.
To see his back, usually Asians don't have very good back.
It's crazy.
That chest is insane.
Yeah, insane.
His legs are wild too.
What the fuck is this hamstring?
All right, the dark horse selection right here for top 5.
Yang Min Lee. Yeah. Okay, you weren't wrong.
A little thin in the back.
Yeah, you weren't wrong about the back.
No, he's got some freaky shots.
He'll be Quentin. That's my.
Everything's good except his back.
He'll be
They
Quentin.
are in Canada.
Robin Strand. That's the only one I don't know.
You don't know
Nathan
Rob?
Spears is a good one. You
I put Nathan in my top 5.
I like Robin Strand. He does a good podcast.
I literally just started watching it recently. So that's
Yeah,
why I
but
said
he's
that.
gonna get smoked.
He's a big dude. He's not pretty, but he's a really big dude. I think he definitely could be a top 5.
He'll be peeled.
Yeah, his
He's
conditions
not
is always
he's not in my top 5 picks, but I think he's gonna look crazy. Nathan looks good too right now. Okay. To get to the point of what we're doing, because we've been looking at pictures here for a while.
top 5.
Oh, he got off the list. I don't even where does the list exist now?
It exists. Hold on.
He's making sure that our handful of viewers get an idea of who's going to line up.
All right. There you
Okay, we made it.
There you
Okay.
go. Top 5.
Keem's in there, John's in there, Hassan's in there. We know those for sure.
Is it in that order? Are you saying it, or are you just calling
No,
out names?
I'm just thinking out loud.
Okay.
This is where it gets interesting, right? 4th is like
There's a few that could battle and sneak in there, depending on how they show up.
could be in there. Brent could be in there. Young could be in there. Quentin could be in there. You had Tim in there, right? I'm not gonna put Tim in my top 5.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put Quentin in there, and I'm gonna put Brent in there.
Damn.
Yeah. What? Because Brent plays pretty high in California, I think. Let's see. If I remember correctly, like he looked really good and did pretty darn well in. Oh, well, let me click because I'm not signed in.
I changed mine, but I have my order.
You changed yours.
I changed my last person.
He got New York Pro 9. He got 9th in the New York.
Tim?
This year. Brent.
Oh, Brent.
All right, you guys ready for my top 5? You can write these down.
All right, go for it.
John is winning it.
Yeah.
Hakeem is second.
Yep.
Team.
Quentin is third.
Quentin.
Tim is fourth. And then
Tim.
Jang is fifth.
Jang looks crazy, dude. I was liking those pictures.
Who? Jang? Oh, Jang.
Yep, Jang Min Lee.
Jang.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
Min Lee. All right, Mike.
All right. My top 5 actually kind of comparable. John,
John.
Hakeem,
Hakeem.
Hassan,
Hassan.
Quentin.
Quentin. Last one.
I've been influenced. Okay. Yang, Min Lee,
Yeah.
number 5. Dude,
Yep.
I don't know. He looks like fucking Superman.
Fucking love me some South Korea.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
Is that what he is, South Korean?
Yep. I didn't know that. I just looked at the list. I was about to say we love me some China, but
Yeah, he's
He's
like
Asian. Asian will work.
really, yeah.
A blanket.
all right.
All right,
Him
let's
could be-
see.
Nathan
I'll-
could be in there. Brent, I mean, like it's
Then the Baruch guy can sneak in there too.
yeah, he could. Yes. Yep.
Interesting. That's gonna be a very interesting show. I like it. What about you, Luis?
Luis.
I got Hakeem first.
All
I
right.
got John second.
All right.
I got Hassan third. I got Nate fourth.
Ooh.
And I got Robin fifth.
Robin 5th. He's got
All
some
right.
he's got some bold. We got a lot
Bold
of
predictions. Bold
The,
fucking.
the, the, the
We're
Asian
like,
guy I
we're
like
the
a lot,
same.
but I think when he stands on stage, he's gonna end up being not as conditioned as these guys, and his back's like it's gonna be very his back's too weak, I think, compared to all the other guys.
Man, we'll
Hey, I
see.
always say conditioning can make you or break you in a show too. So
Yeah, I'm excited. I think Nathan will do well though. I think you're
I,
a solid pick.
I think it always is like the lineup kind of deters sometimes also the way the judges judge. I think like the more conditioned guys, if there's more of them, it kind of puts a standard. Like I think that the winner will have to be a certain way. And I don't know.
You didn't put Quentin in the top 5.
you mad, bro?
He's mad at him.
You mad, bro?
No, I just don't think he's gonna. I just don't think you can make that much of a difference in a couple weeks, to be honest.
I
And
agree.
like and how thin he looked on that stage, I don't think being a little fuller is gonna necessarily.
You know why the reason I put him in that top 5 this time?
What?
Because there's nobody like his physique over there in this show. They'll make him stand out.
100%. On top of that, dude, well, not that this matters too much, but they're in Canada, hometown territory. On top of that, he still got what, 6th in the New York,
Yeah,
which is higher than all these other guys.
exactly my point. That's how I was like, I'm gonna sneak that motherfucker in there because all these physiques are way different than Quentin's.
I do think though, if like conditioning is like if they're like not the most conditioned, I think Hassan not as conditioned will beat Quentin not as conditioned, which is
Yeah,
why-
because he's got so much muscle.
So yeah, I think he'll just like dwarf him from like his legs will make him look like a child. Like in Quentin's legs, but
Yeah.
Hassan's are like Hassan's are logs.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
Leave
Yeah,
it
fucking logs. Fuck
logs.
you. Fuck you, Jordan.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
I just honestly think like if you pull up his pictures right now, Quentin's from the last show, like his back also didn't really improve as much as it needed to compared to like his previous outing. And I feel like one thing's gonna happen with him pushing now like the fullness more is usually your weak body parts when you're less conditioned tend to look worse. Um, so I think that's what's gonna
Oh,
kind of happen as
last
well.
name. His last
Quentin,
name.
QUI. Did you put that? QUINTON. There he is. Be sure.
I have a question for you guys after we finish this topic. Totally unrelated. It's related to training.
Yeah, he's still so small compared to these guys. His
Yes.
legs just needs a lot of filling out for his frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a comparisons, right? If they're put him next to Hassan, that's the point, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that might.
Yeah, he
He
looks
has
a bit more
strength,
conditioned
so I
too.
think he'll still be top 5. I think he has
Yeah.
enough strengths, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. What's your question?
Hey, on this way, are we gonna judge this one by the new way metrics of like
Yeah,
the further the placing is away from the actual placing, like so the more points you accrue, the worse.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that for sure. Yeah, yeah. Let's do that.
Um,
What was your question?
I like that way better. Have training question.
All right, let's do it.
Have you guys ever done experiments and if with volume and frequency for certain body parts? And if you did, what were they and what were your results?
Okay, so right now my training has been pretty boring per se.
Mhm.
I will say I've done DC training.
Mhm.
That's a completely different like volume
Yep.
aspect of things. And I did make a lot of progress in that off season. Would I do it again? Probably not. And here's why. Those workouts were brutally fucking long. And it's like you have basically how we did it. You had like a one bait hard extended long working set per
Yeah.
muscle group.
Yeah, muscle rounds.
And if you missed that window, like then you're kind of feel like you didn't get the job done that day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's hard to hit 100% of those windows every time because there's so much that goes into it. Making sure your heart rate's in a specific range, making sure your breathing's correct, your mind is right. You gave yourself enough rest time between the first exercise and the second exercise or whatnot. So if you nail it right, you pretty cool way to train. But other than that, I am not a big fan of like, let's say, if you have a weak body part, train it 3-4 times a week. I'm not a fan of that because I feel like then you're breaking down the same tissue over and over. I think a lot of the times, if somebody's advanced and they're not progressing a body part, it's because they're probably overtraining it, in my opinion. There's 2 ways where you're not making progress in a specific body part. One of them is you're not stimulating it properly or not enough, or the second one's overstimulation and not enough rest. Because at that point you're breaking down the same tissue. So what I like to do is first, if you're like struggling in a certain body part, my first thing is like, okay, bring the fucking tempo way down. If you do 4 seconds up, 4 seconds down, you should be feeling the burn in the body part you're looking for. If you're not feeling the burn in the body part that you're looking for, that means something in that specific exercise is not working for you, whether that's the angle that you're holding it, whether the way you're, attempting the exercise, the angle of the machines. So if you're not feeling it 4 seconds up, 4 seconds down, there's something off with that particular exercise for you. So that's kind of the way I gauge it. And if they are feeling it that way, then I say it's probably overstimulation and maybe we need to pull back the volume and up the rest on that specific body part. So I don't know if that answers your question. I kind of went off.
Kind of, yes. I agreed with a lot of the stuff that you said. It didn't directly answer my question. I definitely think that like yeah, I agreed with everything you said. I actually used to train kind of DC style-esque, and I feel like, yeah, it's a super hard training style for a normal person who works like a 10, 12-hour job, even a 9 to 5, right? Just life can have so many variables that it's hard to, like, if you miss a session, you lose a huge percentage of your progress.
Yeah.
It's very all in on those 4 sessions a week. The reason I asked the question is because I was thinking about doing one experiment this next push up, and then try something else in the future. Where I was going to do it with calves first. Where
I was literally about to say that. I was like,
I'm
I actually have done that.
want to do it where every morning, just like after one or something, I'm hitting 3 sets of calves. That's it, right? Just for the frequency, and I do it every day except for the days I train legs. So the frequency goes, 5 days a week, but there's still adequate time to recover.
Lower stimulation, more,
And
and
testing my upper limits. I also am like trying to figure out if the sessions are truly separate from the other training sessions, if the quality of the volume will be more effective because I actually have, like, rest time in between. So I don't know. I was looking to experiment with calves for it, and I was looking to experiment also with biceps at one point too, where it's like, hey, if I just did like 3 sets of curls every morning except for the days that I hit back,
yeah.
like good
So,
quality sets, right? And like, I don't know if I'd be overtrained or
Well,
like,
well, I was gonna say I've had success doing that with calves and forearms.
mhm.
I broke it down and I was training them 4 to 5 times a week, 3 to 6 sets. I was getting more like a pump. I wasn't necessarily trying to like destroy them. And I measured my calves and my forearms, and they each had improved where like it was noticeable in my measuring. I can't remember the exact inches right now or whatever, but
yeah,
it was both noticeable compared to the way I approached it before, throwing it in
Yeah.
once or twice, going a little harder on it. So I
So
think like certain endurance muscles, you think you might be able to get away with doing something like that. And like I think bigger muscle groups, you're better off just hitting it harder. And like Marcel was saying, finding a way to stimulate that muscle. Because if you're not probably getting sore from it, you're probably just not finding a way to actually target it.
true.
So
it's funny that you say endurance muscle, because what I was about to say, there are certain muscle groups that I will say that can work with, and those are the muscle groups that you use 24/7, which is
yeah,
your calves, right? You're walking around, your calves stimulate every fucking day.
so like
So
abs too.
yep, your abs. What a lot of people don't realize is, in order to stimulate your calves to a point where you're going to start signaling some kind of hypertrophy in your calf muscle, has to be extremely great. Like the blunt force that you need to put on those is great. Why? Because you use your calves so much throughout the day, especially if you're walking, if you're doing cardio, your calves are used to a lot of stimulation, lots and lots of stimulation. So you got to remember, in order for you to make an adaptation, because that's what growing muscle is your human response, and it adapts to the environment that you put it through, needs to be outside of what that muscle is used to, right?
Yep.
So it's used to a lot of stimulation. So you got to beat it up either harder or more frequent or longer for that stimulation to work. I will not recommend that for a lot of body parts, but something like calves, yeah, dude, they get beat up quite a fucking bit. Abs, same kind of story. You use your core for a lot of different things. But what I do, where people go wrong, they'll overtrain abs and prep sometimes. They train it every day and they're like, my abs are always fucking sore. And I'm like, they're always sore. That
Yeah,
might
not
be an issue
recover.
as well, because you're just constantly breaking out the same tissue. I know that soreness is not necessarily a good, or not good. Okay, not the only marker of recovery, but it is a marker of recovery, in my opinion.
It's important. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of it. So, but it's not the whole equation. So for those muscle groups, yeah, that's definitely something that I would try it. Why not? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Your calves won't get smaller.
We're gonna measure this weekend and start it up this week. We'll see. We'll see. Growing
I
5 days.
know Derek is a big
Every month.
proponent of like doing that to weak
Yeah.
body parts. He does that to his quads and his hamstrings, I believe. Like he'll do sets of hamstring curls, or I forgot which one it was.
I got an extension machine in the garage. I got the Smith. I got
Yeah.
the squat, right? But I just want to try it with calves first. And maybe if I find it successful, I'll carry out the experiment to other body parts just to see if actually just getting a little blood into the muscle aids recovery and just helps like
You
volume
could.
muscle a little bit, right? So
It
yeah,
could. And once
first
again,
experiment of many. We'll see.
yeah. And once again, that's going to be, I think, very greatly from person to person too. And all the other aspects of what they're doing as well will have to play into it, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. I was saying I also did a little extra recovery stuff with the cold
yes,
plunge, the sauna, while I was focusing on doing that. Because if you are doing extra, extra
Sure.
working out, you are probably getting a little bit more either food or more recovery aspects of doing stuff like that. So
yeah, absolutely. So, the training and the stimulation aspect is only like, it's not a small part. I guess the more advanced you get in bodybuilder, I don't know if you guys know that, the more advanced you get in bodybuilding, the
more
more
important
of
it becomes.
the more training becomes more important, right? Because when you first start off, people are like, oh, it's 95% diet, 5% training. I feel like as you get more and more advanced, who did I just see talk about that? Who just talked about that online?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
Sid? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know,
I
maybe.
just saw that. I just saw that on Instagram. Somebody was just talking about that. I believe it could have been Sid with somebody else talking about that, but I literally just saw that and I was like, that's so true. The more advanced you get in bodybuilding, the more training becomes important. Why? Because of what I just mentioned. Your body is adapted to what you've already been putting it through. So you got to constantly find a way to keep putting it through harsher and harsher environments for them to keep adapting, keep signaling to build more muscle. Because that's simply what it is. Like, when's the last time you've seen a cross country runner with giant ass quads? You won't, because their body adapts to what they're putting it through. You know what I mean? Sprinters, big ass quads. Why? Because their body's adapting to what they're putting it through. Different types of training will call for different types of adaptations in your body. So it's the same thing for everybody. People that are underwater swimmers, how do they adapt? Their lung capacity eventually gets fucking bigger because what does it do? It adapts to what you're putting it through day in and day out.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with muscle growth.
Cool. Good feedback, guys.
I like
Stay
it.
for the results.
Yeah. Are we doing anything, Dennis James, before we get off? Or are we good? We saving that?
I mean, we can wait for Derek since he's the one that had some of the replies.
Yeah.
Like I said,
And
I
we
know
have a few more weeks.
I know a few from following people. Yeah, but we also do have a few more weeks to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know some competitors that we decide to do it next time. Like so, they've tagged it. They've been posting about that they're doing the show. So I know a handful. Yeah, so we can figure it out.
Let's ruffle some fucking feathers.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Well, I just want to give like feedback on maybe like their physique. Let's not say like how we think they're gonna place or whatever because we don't know.
That's hard to tell.
We'll just keep it simple to like, yeah, you're on track. Maybe focus on this. Focus on,
Dennis James, open bodybuilding, go.
Bug.
I
got no one.
Good. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you just planning on going? Oh, you say your client's doing that one, right?
I have clients in that one, so yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Oh, you might.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's do it. We'll see if somebody punches us after doing the Dennis James episode when they see us in real life. Fuck you, Marcel. You said I was still fat.
That'd be good. Cool. Awesome. Call it
All
there.
right,
Then.
guys.
Yeah, call it there.
Yeah. Anything else? Doggies are good. Everybody's doggies are good.
Yeah, no, I took my dog yesterday to get her final shot, or now I can actually now take her with other dogs. So I think I gotta wait. I think I gotta wait like a week to make sure it gets her an immune system or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, no, I want to socialize with other dogs. I tell her she gets excited with other dogs. I don't think it'll be a bad thing. She just gets all happy and she wants to like play with one. So
Absolutely.
I'll set up a play date.
Good. All right, guys. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Talk some shit. Give us something to talk about. Yeah, that's it. Ask questions if you have any. And yeah. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.
All right, see you later, guys.